The world, someone has said, is made up of stories, not atoms. And the whole universe, yet someone else has said, is one great conversation which goes on through the telling of stories. And it is this great conversation that holds us all together. Around the world, there are many ways of telling stories, but perhaps one of the most unique is the Wayang shadow puppets of Indonesia that embody deep traditions of teaching culture through dramatic storytelling.
In Indonesia at that time, we're talking about 100 years ago, of course television wasn't invented yet. So we had the Wayang as a teaching mean of teaching the people ethical values. So the stories are from the Mahabharata and from the Ramayana, which are highly ethical lectures. Also part of the history.
The Wayang are traditionally performed at ceremonies of blessing, such as weddings or birthdays, and last up to 9 hours. Traditional food is laid out for feasting, and people wander in and out of the performance at leisure. This is the story of how a collection of Indonesian shadow puppets came from Java to their new home at Simon Fraser University.
When we were decided to move to Canada, then comes the question, what can we bring with us? So aside from the normal things, clothing and so, and my medical books, there was one treasure that I really nurtured very highly, and that was the Wayang style that I inherited from my father.
This Wayang collection bears the trademark of Bapak, a puppet maker of Cirebon in Java, dating them back to the 1870s. At 600 puppets, it is one of the most complete in the world.
The puppets have been doing nothing. They were stored in my house because I know already, when I talk about the Wayang puppets, that the culture here was not quite ready for it. It's just in the later years that gradually the Simon Fraser University becomes more and more ready for Eastern influences.
And so, this year, the puppets were donated to Simon Fraser University. They have become part of the Anthropology Museum's collection, where curator Dr. Barbara Winter and her team have been cataloging and restoring them. To celebrate the arrival of the Wayang, a ceremony, procession, and performance were planned for SFU's 40th anniversary open house celebrations.
They've fallen asleep. And so what we're doing in the Salamatan is waking them up, using this traditional ceremony to enliven them again.
The day's events included a cultural festival attended by dignitaries from the Indonesian consulate, a performance by the Gamelan Orchestra, a dance performance, and feasting. A small portion of the Mahabharata was performed. This epic tale, like many others of the Wayang tradition, migrated from India many centuries ago. They are religious tales and myths, stories that tell of strife between families, stories that remind us of great wars, battles, and spiritual struggles.
But they certainly embody the culture and traditions of Java and Bali. They address the perpetual battle between good and evil, where neither side really wins, and everything is held in balance, and that's good and evil, existing side by side, where no one really wins. Good doesn't overcome evil, evil doesn't overcome good, because that would be dangerous because the system would be out of balance.
It is the artistry of the dalang, or head puppeteer, together with the gamelan orchestra, that makes the puppets come alive in performance.
Because dalang here, I can say, we can divide dalang become two different syllables, dal and lang in Javanese language. Dal means ngudal or represents of the knowledge, represents of the ability to teach.
What is ukek? Ukek means move or to move. Oh, so bekegek is sit down, and then ukek is move.
Because the Indonesian audience knows these stories well, the dalang is free to improvise and embellish them with humor and with ironic references to contemporary life.
I would also like to thank you to Dr. Barbara for your hard work. You know, you did a great job with your crew. Thank you very much for Archaeology Museum.
That's also been carried forward into the contemporary Wayang performances. That humor, poking fun at in political events, satire, all of that really is part of it. And I was pleased to see that happen in the open house event.
That was the first time after almost 75 years that I have seen these wayangs performed again. Of course, you believe me, it was for me a very, very emotional moment. A moment that has made me very happy and fulfilled.
So I think there's many ways that the collection can be used in its own right as a very important artistic collection here at SFU, but as a vehicle for performances, for helping develop other arts at SFU, in dance and in other disciplines, and can really be used as Wayang often is in its own home in Java, as a way of making good things happen.
Having been awoken in their new home at Simon Fraser University, it is intended that this Wayang set will continue to tell the ancient stories of Java for years to come.